This is Kate Beckinsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Well, fly me to the moon. It's time for Baconsale to go back in black into a format we've done before and let you know which movies we are Kraven this summer. And in a plot twist of plot twisters, we're also going to be turning things inside out, too, and tell you about the movies we want to bomb. No, this isn't a trap, but don't get Furiosa and call us Bad Boys for our opinions. Especially if we, the watchers of all these summer movie trailers, mention a film that may come out in the fall, Guy.
Candy bars!
Yay! I may just take that and make it the episode blurb.
Yeah, no, you really should, because then we'll award it at the end of the year for your creativity.
Yay! Love the candy bar intros. Yeah. But welcome to Big Cell. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
I'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, our conventional, you know what it is.
There's three of them. The convention show.
Yeah, the convention show where we talked with Kyler.
Special thanks to Kyler for being here for that.
Indeed, yes.
And special thanks to everybody who commented and played along. It was fun on social media this week. But shout out to Kathy Larson, who said, I went to Kyler's podcast panel at LTUE in February 2020. Nothing bad happened after that.
Wow.
And then they raved about Baconsale. Thanks, guys. So much that I went home and started listening to episode 1. Sorry, Kyler, I never did try the Star Wars podcast you were there to plug. You seemed more excited about these guys. 4 years later, I just finished the backlog this month. What?
Wow.
And I'm finally listening in real time. Thanks, Kyler. I owe you. Thank you, Kyler, but thank you, Kathy.
Yes.
That is a
Thanks,
lot of
everybody.
dedication.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
How, did the show change at all in like April of 2020? Did you notice anything?
Did it get better?
Did it get worse? Don't answer that. Okay. Then shout out to Ryan Farron, who said, I've only been to conventions for work. Unless the Auto Expo counts, I think it counts.
It does.
I think it counts. I've never had a desire to go to a fan convention, but after listening to this episode, I still don't. Thanks for doing this. So I feel like I have been to a convention without actually having to go to one. Hey, there is a convention out there for you. I guarantee there's a Rush convention, Ryan.
And a robot convention.
Probably. And
Russian robots?
No, not around these times.
Russian robots?
Yeah. We're going to avoid that. Okay. And then Crew Dutler on Twitter said, was Zack standing in line to meet a celebrity for most of this episode? He was silent. Then all of a sudden he comes back, drops all these cryptic stories about being Geek Squad for Nerd Herd extraordinaire Zachary Levi and whatnot. We need more. Yeah,
so do we.
I have a lot of stories and experiences from conventions, but I was... dinner was not agreeing with me that
You were
night.
like the most interesting man in the world on that
just
show that you
definitely.
wouldn't actually share the stories.
You know, I was...
We still need to hear your Patrick Warburton story off air.
Patrick Warburton. Yeah, I was... what's her name in Schmitz Creek?
Catherine O'Hara?
The daughter...
Ooh, David.
Yeah, whatever. Alexis.
Yes.
When Alexis comes in, she's like, oh, yeah, it was like that time I was taken by the Russian mob or whatever. And they're like, what? And then they just move on.
Yeah.
I was the Alexis of the episode.
Yep. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
We're looking ahead to the summer, Joel.
The summer.
The summer of movies.
Yes, it's time once again. We do this periodically throughout the season. We do kind of an overarching look at the movies that are coming out this year at the beginning of the season, and now we're into the summer movie preview, which is usually when the biggest movies are coming out.
Now, at the beginning of this year, we said 2024 looks really bad, and that could be because of the strike.
I would say bad, more like lackluster.
Yeah, lackluster.
Yeah.
And now having
It
done
lacks bluster. Yeah.
yeah, precisely. So now that you guys have done a little bit more research on movies coming out, how do you feel about the summer? Is it still a little disappointing? Does it lack the luster?
I think it's more disappointing. That's not the answer I was going for. I'm just saying. I don't really care about the summer.
I looked at it again and I was like, yeah, there's some movies in here I'm interested, but it does not seem to be any huge tent pole movies, ones that are going to be really carrying studios through the summer.
So we're going to have to deal with Kent pole movies.
Make that a thing. I actually am kind of liking 2024, and I'll tell you why. Mid-budget movies are back.
And who knows, maybe mid movies are as well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's what I've been craving, right? It's these
Kraven.
It's movies. When we say mid budget, it's not the big blockbuster, superhero or Star Wars or whatever, and it's not the indie darling that's probably going to win the Oscars. It's
right.
Like, I don't know, what would you say is a famous mid budget movie in the past? Like a Ghostbusters, maybe. Maybe is that too much?
I mean,
Wayne's World, is Wayne's World a mid-tier?
Yeah,
as a mid-budget
That's
type
safe
movie?
to say. Honestly, John Wick, something like that.
John Wick, yeah, where it's not made for a ton of money,
sure,
and but it has a chance to be pretty solid.
Yeah. So I'm kind of liking it. The mid in me is enjoying this summer.
The mid in you,
Yeah.
I'm mid.
Baconsale.
So yes,
Okay.
we're going to go through these. We are going to give our bottom 5, the ones we want to bomb, or we're just generally going to avoid.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get into our top 5. So give you a little guide of what's coming up this summer, because summer will go. We classify summer as May to like the end of August.
Yeah,
So May through
and
August.
It's funny. We've always done this show at the first week of May,
Yeah.
and we always miss a pretty big movie. It's generally like a Marvel movie first week
so
of May,
we bumped it back.
and so we're bumping it back a little bit.
Can I
Give
just
the whole scope?
I'm just going to real quick
Yeah.
throw out to you guys. Did you know last year, Joel, you look forward to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, and Kent, you really look forward to Oppenheimer. How'd that work out for you guys?
Great, I would say.
Mid.
Well,
Okay, and you really didn't want you wanted Little Mermaid, Joel, to bomb.
Yes.
And Kent, you wanted The Flash to bomb.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Oh, great.
Those are your number ones in those.
yeah,
those
they
are
both
bad
bombed
ones.
pretty well.
Okay, well, let's do it again this year.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember I was really excited for Mission Impossible. It didn't quite turn out as good.
Yeah,
as I
Dead
thought.
Reckoning, no longer Part 1, just Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
It was your second highest.
Also, when is Beyond the Spider-Verse supposed to come out? Like
I
last
don't
month?
think they got a.
It was meant to be
release
last
date.
month.
Yeah, but then they pushed it.
I
and
think
then,
it pushed to next year.
That's rude. Anyways,
ridiculous.
here's what we know is actually coming out outside of like the Dune 2 rule, where they're going to the week after we record the show, they're going to push it back. If you remember last year's fall show. Dune. Anyway, so let's start with the fifth bottom. Joel?
What is your fifth
Yes.
bottom, Joel? What is the movie you are fifth least looking forward to?
Fifth bottom makes sense.
What's your fourth favorite reptile?
It's not that complicated. This is not out of the 5 movies I want to bomb. This is the 5th one. There you
The
go.
bottom.
Yeah,
You didn't make it any clearer.
Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter is coming out like right at the end of summer.
It's me again with another editor's note. Sony has decided to push this movie from August to December 13th, 2024. Thanks, Sony.
August 30th. That's number 5. You want to know why?
Why?
Because
You know it's going to be bad. Why is it not number
Kraven
one?
this movie?
no, because okay. So I found the character of Kraven the Hunter. If you don't know, by the way, Kraven the Hunter is a character in the Spider-Man universe, and he wants to hunt. Or no, yeah, Spider-Man. Yes, I'm right.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm right.
It was on the anniversary show. Nobody
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. But
We
this
did a full
is,
show on it.
and so this is one of those things where, once again, Sony has not apparently learned a lesson that a Spider-Man movie with a Spider-Man villain without Spider-Man is not as good. I mean, we saw this with Morbius. We saw this with
Madam Web.
We even saw this.
There was a Spider-Man in Madam Web. A villainous Spider-Man.
Venom made $1 billion.
Venom is just dumb. So all those combined,
There's
I
a
went.
third
What
one.
do you mean?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So this is
Oh,
directed.
was that Fat Albert or Venom?
I'm a symbiote.
A Fat Albert reference. We have not. Has that ever happened on Bacon?
Never.
That had to have.
What if
Anyway.
the symbiote was Fat Albert?
What if Fat Albert is a symbiote?
What? Okay, but Joel, this movie has Russell Crowe and Keanu
Oh, yeah,
Reeves.
so directed by J.C. Chander and starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is in everything lately. Just feels like he keeps popping up.
Listen,
Except James Bond.
Ariana
DeBose.
Russell Crowe's in it as well. Here's the plot summary. Russian immigrant Sergei Kravenov is on a mission to prove that he is the greatest hunter in the world, which that is Kraven. He's the greatest hunter in the world, so he decides to start hunting Spider-Man because that is not because he's evil, just because this is a trophy.
Yeah.
This is something he can conquer.
Real quick, Sergey, best Russian name ever, or close?
Ivan?
I'm a Vladimir kind of guy,
that's-
but then,
yeah,
but
that's a
then
good
you
one.
get Putin, who's kind of ruining that name.
No,
Yeah.
I
So-
like Ivan. Ivan's real simple.
I'm gonna go with Sergey. It's a good
Save
one.
it for our Russian name. episode.
It's a bracket. It's a bracket.
Yes. Anyway, this was originally scheduled for October 6, 2023, and then they pushed it back.
Twice, clearly.
It is the 5th film in Sony's Spider-Man universe. And if
It's so crazy.
Sam Raimi was actually going to have Kraven the Hunter in his 4th Spider-Man film before he got canceled.
He's going to have a ton of people then. He's
Yeah.
going to be Vulture and Black Cat as well.
Yeah, I think it was going to be a villain full. They keep
Okay.
doing that with more villains. But
Right.
Kraven the Hunter,
Black
I
Cat.
just...
Oh, making biscuits.
The more I see this like non-Spider-Man universe, the more I'm like, why do you keep making these? Why do you keep doing this?
You know what's funny to me is the last half of No Way Home was so cool and so fun to see.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home.
Yeah.
it's like Fly Away Home.
There's probably
Has
a
anyone
movie out
seen
there
that
called
movie?
No Way Home.
Yeah, but the last half, people give Sony the credit for that because of the use of Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
And they don't really like I say they, but generally the first half is not as smiled upon. And everyone's like, yeah, yay Sony. But look what Sony's doing with their own franchises, though.
Yeah.
They
There's
can't
some-
actually capitalize on what they have.
That's the thing is there's some sort of weird relationship there with the MCU and Sony Pictures that is preventing Spider-Man from just being in everything.
Do you think it's like an issue with like Andrew Garfield? Because don't you think people would be excited
that
if
would
they got
imply
Andrew
that
Garfield?
there is an issue with Andrew Garfield, which
Well, no,
we all know
he
is
hates
not
hates
true.
them. Remember when they were like kind of got rid of him, and
we
he
love
was
him.
real upset. Oh, we all love Andrew
great.
Garfield. It's just so weird how they're doing this. Like the fact that you do have in Madam Web a version of a Spider-Man in 2003 that has a suit and everything.
Yeah.
The Venom exists as a Spider-Man looking character without any sort of influence.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And that's why I chose it to be my fifth bomb.
Do you like the charisma of Aaron Taylor Johnson, though? Do you feel like he could somehow save
If
a
I
campy
may-
movie like this?
If I may reference another Spider-Man villain.
Go on.
He's a chameleon. Because I
Crickets.
feel like...
Crickets.
Well, yeah, that's a character, but
Yeah, once again, no
also,
one got that
also just
question
the
right.
animal. Because I feel like all of a sudden I'll be watching a movie and halfway through I'll be like, oh, hey, that's Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like he's
Like
just
Tenet.
Yeah.
Remember he's in that?
No.
What?
Is he?
Yeah.
Where?
He's like the ripped soldier.
Whoa!
He's jacked.
I had no idea.
Did you guys see Bullet Train?
Yes, and that surprised
Zach,
me.
you're missing out.
I know.
It is a sleeper.
I
hit.
was saving it for the day that he was announced as James Bond, and that day has not come.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
Totally
anyway,
worth it.
that's my pick.
Oh, yeah. We spent a lot of time on
Yeah, we
Kraven.
did. Like,
Yeah.
we got less time.
My fifth bottom is Inside Out 2.
Yep.
Comes out
And now we move to
June
Zach.
14th.
Oh, more time, but less time than more time than that.
Follow Riley in her teenage years encountering new emotions. That's it. That's the synopsis. Just new emotions. Okay. This is directed by Kelsey Mann, who wrote The Good Dinosaur.
Oh no,
The worst one.
Starring Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, and Louis Black. Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling are not returning to
They're
the voice
not?
cast. No. They have like Tony Hale, I think, in the cast replacing, because, he just does that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Tony Hale is discount Bill Hader.
Yeah, I think
guess?
so. I could be getting that wrong.
He's Forky.
But the new emotions for this one, because basically you have all the emotions that we grew to tolerate in that first movie. When was that? 2016, I think. Yeah. And now Riley, which I do like that Pixar is aging up the character, because this is something they should have done for Incredibles too.
Yeah.
That Riley's a little bit older, and now she's dealing with anxiety, envy, and ennui, and embarrassment. And they are going to take over the mind palace, essentially. And Joy is going to try to get it back through the same way without being Bong. And
Bing bong.
and that's the best part of the movie. Let's be honest. I do like it is like Riley's story of because I have daughters this age, and there's insecurities, but at the same time, this story was kind of told in Turning Red. I feel
Okay.
Yeah. I look forward to the movie potentially having some interesting things to say about feelings and emotions that you could like be sitting down and talking to your teen about, and it's like a visual representation. I even know my wife, who as a therapist has pointed to moments within the original Inside Out.
Cool.
It simply is a way of verbalizing or visualizing how you might be feeling. So if it can be a decent tool for that, I mean, I could see why it would be useful. I just hope that this is that, and it does have heart.
It does.
And a
Truly.
message.
And actually, I really enjoyed the animation of the original Inside Out.
me
How
too.
it's like those little tiny soft
The
bubbles.
soft,
Yeah.
It's almost like felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that. It was one of those visual things that I've never forgotten. Is that
Visually stunning movie.
Yeah.
Joel, in your opinion, when was the last good Pixar sequel made? What year?
Pixar sequel?
Pixar sequel. When was the
Toy
last
Story
quality?
3.
Toy Story 4.
Okay, I'm asking the wrong person. It's 3.
Oh,
And
no. I'm saying, you said good.
I said good.
Yeah. You said good.
I
That's
would call Toy
4.
Story 4 good.
It's good.
It's not great.
It's an unnecessary epilogue.
Okay.
So
but I would say
so am I.
2010. It's been a while since Pixar has
That
had
would be
that
Toy
kind
Story
of-
3 is what
that
you're saying.
quality. And maybe if Inside Out 2 is Toy Story 4 quality, maybe we'll all smile on it. But I think the Pixar shine has long been gone.
It's not like Incredibles 2 is bad.
Yes, it is.
It's just unnecessary.
It's bad.
It's not bad.
I know you like.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being bad.
It's got a lot of
pretty bad.
Elastigirl.
I definitely have not got back and watched it, though.
Right. All right. That's my number 5.
Thank you. All right, Kent, tell me your number 4.
Garfield comes out May 24th.
The Garfield movie. Please say the full name.
Is it the Garfield movie?
I have no idea.
The Garfield prequel, the Garfield whatever it is. I don't even know.
Also, formal announcement: I'm being replaced by Chris Pratt on Baconsale.
Yeah, we were going to let you know later, but
you think he's going to sound like you, but it just sounds like Chris Pratt. Because that's just
that
him.
was the most disappointing thing is watching like the promos for these things, and it's like it's Garfield. He's gonna have no, it's Chris Pratt's voice. It's Mario's voice. It's Lego guy's voice.
Emmett.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Garfield is about to go on a wild outdoor adventure. After an unexpected reunion with his long-lost father, the cat Vic, Garfield and Odie are forced to abandon their pampered life to join Vic in a hilarious high-stakes heist. Okay, Garfield outside. First of all, that's wrong in any canon. And Garfield on like an outdoor adventure? Like, what is this, open season 3? Like, nobody needs to see this. And I just made an open season 3 reference.
How dare you defile the name of open season?
I didn't say open season
The
1 or
first
2.
movie is a masterpiece.
All right, but the cast in this movie is kind of awesome, except for Chris Pratt.
Okay, so we have.
I'm kind of a hater.
Wait, you like Samuel
You're
L.
a Bill
Jackson as Vic?
I like Samuel L. Jackson. End of sentence.
Okay, did you
Come
see
on.
Captain Marvel 2?
Is it a Marvel movie? Of course, I didn't see.
Yeah, of course. Who plays John in this movie?
John is Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, that's okay.
Nicholas Hoult. Ving Rhames is Otto. We've got Jinx as Hannah Waddingham, who is the owner of the soccer team in Ted Lasso. And you've got Brett Goldstein who, as Roland.
So are you trying to sell this? I will say
He was Roy Kent in Ted Lasso.
maybe because it's not trying to be a live action movie.
Snoop Dogg is in it as Snoop Cat.
Oh my gosh.
I'm out.
No. I think the animation fits the style. I just don't think the comedy will fit any sort of Garfield that we know or liked back in the day. And I don't think that kids care about the IP.
No, I think
anymore.
that's actually the problem. We don't need to see a Garfield from back in the day because I'll be honest, Garfield is. I think
Is it like Heathcliff
It's a
when we were young?
cartoon. It's a cartoon of like this lazy schmuck stereotype
Yeah.
that I think it went away in the '90s. We don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's relevant in the slightest.
Yeah. So I hope it bombs.
I do too. Okay.
It is called the Garfield movie, by the way.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Joel.
The poster is a picture of Garfield movie. There we go. Joel, what is your number 4?
My number 4 comes out July 19th, and it's Twisters.
Oh,
It is not.
It is
What?
Twisters.
Come on.
Wait, is this most anticipated?
This is least anticipated.
Do you
Joel,
not like
Joel.
having fun with a mid-budget movie?
Joel. It's like Twister.
There's no Z at the end. This is not Utah.
Twister.
Twisters. So this is okay. This is the plot summary. An update to the 1996 film Twister, which centered on a pair of storm chasers who risked their lives in an attempt to test an experimental weather system. So the first movie is fun. I enjoyed
It is,
Twister.
yeah.
I love the soundtrack of Twister. Remember Human Beings, Van Halen? Anyway.
I need to listen to it.
But this stars Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell,
Bizarre
Anthony
Turn by
Ramos,
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Maura
Yeah.
Tierney, and a bunch of other people. Twister was a movie of its time. It is fun.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous, but it is fun.
Because like Storm Chasers feels like a 90s sort of concept.
Yes.
Right?
And I feel like, and this is the other thing I found out when they were talking about making this movie. Helen Hunt, who was in the original movie, we all love Helen Hunt,
Yeah,
right?
it's great.
She was going to write and direct a sequel, and the studio went, no, reject. And they
What?
rejected her script. So the mere fact that they are shaming Helen Hunt and they are rejecting Helen Hunt, I reject this movie.
Because she's not even in this, right?
No,
Would
as
you
far
like-
as I know, no.
Would you like the reason why this is going to make money?
I would like this reason, yes.
Well, let's go back to 2011, gentlemen. A little movie called The Immortals came out. It is garbage. It's starring
Henry Cavill.
and Mickey Rourke. It is a garbage movie. It made $226.9 million. That's
But
actually
also,
a pretty
Zach,
good return.
abs.
But why did it make money?
Abs?
Because it was the first role starring Henry Cavill post-Superman casting. David Cornsweet is in Twisters.
Hey, that's what happens when you shuck corn.
It's
you get
true.
corn sweat.
David Cornsweet, who's that?
Cornsweet is Superman.
He's your new Superman.
In the new
His name is
Corns-
David Cornsweet?
David Corn Sweat.
Corin Sweat.
Oh,
He is the new Superman. He is in this movie. So I think people are going to go see Twisters just to get a
the
peek.
mere fact that I had no idea who you're talking about doesn't
Also,
Doesn't bode well.
$96,000 is in this movie as
It's
well.
true. Anthony Ramos, as well as
Oh, he has a name.
as well as Hangman himself, Glenn Powell. Yes.
Who?
The guy who they're trying to make a thing.
I love Glenn Powell, but also who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
it doesn't have a lot of big names in it.
This is going to make movie because people are going to be curious.
It seems like
about
you're mostly just
Superman.
mad, Joel. That seems like a spite choice.
Also, no Philip Seymour Hoffman in this one. No Bill Paxton in this one.
Honestly, no, they're going to dedicate
Did
this.
you know why?
And Bill Paxton?
I wonder why.
I think they're going to dedicate it to Bill Paxton, but the fact that I didn't use Helen Hunt,
Yeah.
also, that feels wrong.
Also, I feel like it's gonna have a heavy-handed message. It's just gonna be part of it. I can already hear it.
About tornadoes?
Yeah, and climate stuff.
What if
and
it's just fun?
everything. I hope it is. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be.
All right.
Joel, it's 2 tornadoes. It's 2 of them.
There were 2 in the first one. Remember, they come at them at the same time.
Oh, yeah. They should
Yeah.
call that Twisters.
yeah.
Really, the first one is just a big Ram trucks commercial, and this one will be too.
I bought 7 after seeing the movie.
You were 14.
Oh, just kidding. I'm looking at the trailer. It's a Toyota. Oh no. Okay.
Zach's
Joel,
out.
What is your number 3?
My third least anticipated movie for this summer is The Crow, coming out August 23rd.
Was this pushback?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so The Crow, plot summary of this one. Soulmates Eric Draven and Shelley Webster are brutally murdered. Given the chance to save his true love by sacrificing himself, Eric sets out to seek revenge, traversing the world to the living and the dead to put the wrongs things right, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
Whoa. I love what you did there. Speaking of IPs that no one cares about.
Right.
So
This was originally supposed to come out in June.
I have
Yeah.
a confession to make, gentlemen.
Have you seen any Crow?
I've eaten crow.
You're about to.
No,
Have you?
back in the day. No, when I was a kid, and the original Crow came out in 1994. I want to say
With Jason Lee.
with Jason Lee.
My name is
Brandon
I was
Lee.
going to say, that's my
Wow.
name is Earl.
Yeah.
Leading the witness.
There's
Kent.
Jason Lee. He's
You
a
led me to
Jungle
the
Book.
wrong name.
There's a Lee.
No, but I was kind of obsessed with the idea of the Crow.
Yeah.
I had the poster in my room.
It was 90s mood.
I
So
may have
edgy.
done my makeup, the makeup like the Crow on my face.
Wait, for fun?
Yeah.
Joel,
Yes.
tell me pictures exist.
They're not of then, but I have done it sometimes since then because I learned how to do it, and then I kind of did it because I thought it was a cool look to Brandon. And
Halloween.
if you don't know the tragic story behind the original Crow, the actor Brandon Lee during the filming of the movie was actually killed during a scene in the movie. They were shooting him and a gun misfired or there was like a blank that wasn't quite working right or something.
Essentially, it was the Alec Baldwin's rust of its time. You know, a very just unfortunate onset accident.
Very accident.
Yeah.
But then they had to digitally replace his face in some scenes, and they still released the movie. So maybe that was behind it too. But I loved the idea of this guy who came back from the dead to take revenge and could not die, as long as the Crow lived.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was great. And then I watched the movie and I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not
Yeah.
good.
It's a little too gritty.
It was a little, kind of grimy and gross.
Yeah.
The new one stars Bill Skarsgård as Eric Draven.
Which one's
and
that?
FKA
The skinny one, Pennywise.
and FKA Twigs as Shelley Webster. That's right. Her name is FKA Twigs.
Yeah.
Already, that's not very sitting well for me. This is based on a comic book series that came out in the 80s. This is apparently the 5th installment in the Crow film
And that's
series.
the problem. The sequels, not that the first one was amazing, but the sequels really watered down the idea, and now they're just trying to reboot it instead of sequelize it.
Yeah.
When the idea could be totally different characters without ruining the quote unquote legacy.
Yeah. Well, and I watched the trailer for this one, and I got the same kind of feeling when I watched it. This is going to be kind of just grimy. And
Early advance word is it's bad, and that's why they delayed it just a few months.
Okay. Also, Alex Proyas, the original director of The Crow back in '94, he said in 2019 he was talking about there's potential reboot rumors around there, and he said it's not just a movie that can be remade. It's one man's legacy, and it should be treated with that level of respect.
Wow.
Because he
Yeah.
said when Brandon Lee died, it became kind of this.
He's
tribute
what we
to him.
picture.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now he's like, well, this is back in 2019, but he said that. I was kind of I kind of feel the same way. How the movie came together really didn't work for me. And I don't think it should be made again because of what happened in the first one.
Yeah,
this
I agree with
legacy
that.
thing. And it's directed by Rupert Sanders, who directed Ghost in the Shell, the live action one, and Snow White and the Huntsman.
He's done a good movie,
Has he?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
That first one.
Which
Yeah.
one's that?
The first one of the apes.
That's the James Franco
reboot.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. The monkey movies, yeah.
The monkey movies. We'll talk about them.
Kent, what do you have for 3?
Borderlands comes out August 9th.
What?
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Have you played the game?
Yeah, the first, actually 3 of them. I didn't play the fantasy one yet, but I played the first 3, and I love the second one, but the first 2 are very good, and then it falls apart. Based on the best-selling video game, this all-star action adventure follows a ragtag team of misfits on a mission to save a missing girl who holds the key to unimaginable power. Guys, I'm sorry. I know everyone loves it, but I now think that Guardians of the Galaxy is the worst thing the MCU has ever created because every movie tries to be Guardians of the Galaxy now. If you've seen the trailer,
So it means it was one of the best things the MCU created.
no, because of the influence is so corrupted at this point. It's just gross. The trailer is annoying. It's got the 70s song playing over it. I hate it, and it has almost nothing to do with the games. It's cool that Kate Blanchett's in this movie.
I kind of liked it. It's not on my list of most anticipated, but
There's a couple potty jokes in there that we've talked about.
that was no great. But the trailer was somewhat enjoyable.
The entirety of the humor of the game appeals to a 14-year-old boy, and I think the movie will do the same. But I happen to not be one of those, so I don't know how much I care.
I think Jack Black will be entertaining as the voice of Claptrap. Because that's a fun character.
He's a robot, yeah.
This feels like Mad Max filmed in the volume to me. Nothing feels real whatsoever.
Mad Max filmed in the volume.
The volume is what Disney uses for all their TV shows. The
big
CG.
dome with
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the screens that show stuff. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It's like green screen, but it's real.
It's for locals.
No
it's like
projection.
going to the planetarium and watching the movies on the big dome.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm sorry, I cannot buy Kevin Hart as an action hero.
Nope.
I can't do it.
Kevin Hart's another one they've been trying to make a thing for years, and it's just not happening.
So yeah,
He's got some good comedy bits.
I will watch this.
Both of them.
Joel, I bet we forget about this the second this movie ends. And that's about as far as I want to talk about it.
What about your number 2, Mr. Kent?
Kraven the Hunter. Like
boy.
Joel said, comes
that's
out
why you had so much
August
info about it. I
30th.
knew it.
Yes. It's like they know we've already recorded this show, and then they decide to delay it. Like, we're going to be mad that Kraven's delayed. J.C. Chandler, who is directing this movie, he did direct All Is Lost, which I kind of liked, and the Despacito music video. Just had to
That's
throw
like
that in there.
the number 1 music video of all time.
Yeah.
He directed that?
Yeah. And this is rated R. Did we talk about this?
Kraven the Hunter?
Yeah, it's purposely rated R. And I think they're trying to say, hey, look, we know we're not going to get a lot of money, and we'll blame it on the R rating. And plus, there'll be a little bit of blood, so maybe we'll bring in an edgier crowd that cares about.
Did that work for
Kraven.
did Morbius? Was Morbius rated R?
I don't think so.
I would like to tell you, but I don't remember.
I don't know anything about it. It's
Yeah.
it's Morbin time though.
But that's all you get. Kraven the Hunter. That's my second bottom. You know what? Now it's my first bottom of the end of the year preview of 2024.
all right, Joel, what's your second bottom?
Well, my second bottom I actually talked about before on our first episode of the season, or second episode of the season. It's Bad Boys Ride or Die. Comes out June 7th.
Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys
or Die.
3 Life.
Fast X, Your Bad Boys.
So this would be Bad Boys was to start. The Boys? I don't know.
So this is directed by, wow, I'm not going to get these names right. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, who directed Miss Marvel and Bad Boys for Life.
And Batwoman, which will never see the
Oh,
light
yeah,
of day.
that's right.
Yeah.
So here's the plot summary from IMDb. This summer, the world's favorite bad boys are back with their iconic mix of edge-of-your-seat action and outrageous comedy, but this time with a twist. Miami's finest are now on the run. Wow.
But like, what do you expect from these movies? Did you see the last one? Did you see For Life? The third
I've only
one?
seen 1 and 2, I believe.
I liked it.
You like Bad Boys for Life?
Yeah.
I kind of think this movie's going to be fine.
I mean, it's no Bad Boys 2. That thing is a classic.
And I talked about this on our previous episode, but the reason I want this to bomb is because they're like, look how much money Bad Boys for Life made.
Yeah.
It was the #1 American movie in all of 2020. And then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, what's that asterisk right there? Oh, that's right. It was one of the few movies that came out before to actually get some money before theaters shut down.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're making a 4th one, and there's a little luster lost with the cast as well.
I actually want Martin Lawrence to succeed as much as I don't want Will Smith to succeed. So I'm kind of split on this one. For some reason, I enjoy Martin Lawrence and his weird career.
What if at one point during the movie, Martin Lawrence slaps Will Smith across the face?
That should happen.
It probably will.
In fact,
there's
I
going to
think
be
the
a joke.
audience would
I said
appreciate it.
I called it again. I will call it again.
Okay.
There's going to be a joke.
You called
There's
it
gonna be a
in
joke.
the first
Yeah, there's
episode
going to be
there.
a slap joke in Bad Boys Ride or Die.
And do you think
think-
Will Smith's going to look at the camera? Do you
Probably.
think so?
Little
fourth
mugging
wall
for the
break?
camera. Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
I actually think he has an ego such that he will not let that happen.
Probably. You're probably right.
Yeah.
This is also one of those trailers that I started watching and then learned very quickly this is not a trailer I'm old enough for.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, okay, let's watch the trailer. Nope, I'm out.
I think this movie's going to be fine and it's going to make pretty good money. Like that's not a ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it'll hit its target audience, it'll make decent money, and it'll be a good airplane movie.
Woo!
Right.
Are you saying because there's not a Fast and Furious this year,
Yeah.
this is that kind of
Yeah.
movie?
It's not going to reach the heights of Fast and Furious,
Sure.
but it feels that niche.
Yeah, I get that.
But that's my 2.
All right. Before we get to our number ones, do you have honorable mentions you'd like to mention?
Bombing honorable mentions?
Yes.
I put on here the Garfield movie. I did mention
Yeah.
as well. There was another one called The Story of Tom and Jerry, which
Is it a documentary? What is it?
I don't know. I was reading the synopsis. I'm like, this sounds stupid and
All right.
a bad idea. So no. Also, Babes. That was another trailer.
Babes.
Which is that the sequel to In the City?
No.
It's
No.
multiple babes.
It's just-
is it like Twisters with multiple pigs?
No, it comes out May 17th. And it's one of those.
That was cute.
It's one of those look how filthy female comedians can be kind of movies.
Oh.
One of those trailers that I kind of turned off.
Why do they
early
do
on.
that? Like last year, they had the dogs movie, Strays, and then they had the kids telling dirty jokes
Yeah.
movie the year before.
Yeah, it's that type of thing where it's like, hey, shock comedy. Yay. So those are kind of honorable mentions I put out there.
Kent?
One of them I'm going to save because I think it will be Joel's number 1. But I'm going to mention Harold and the Purple Crayon. This comes out August 2nd.
Oh, you want like a
Starring
bomb?
Zachary Levi?
yeah,
gonna be a
I,
fun
as a
family
child,
movie.
I feel really bad for Zachary Levi, even though I think it's kind of his fault. I don't know what's going on.
He's tanked his own career.
You guys remember the books, that were like
Vaguely.
kind of boring and stuff? Now they have Zachary Levi coming to life as Harold the baby. I don't know what's going on. And then The Crow is my other honorable mention.
Okay.
Well, what is your number one, Kent?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's your number one you want to bomb?
Oh, yeah.
You hate smugness.
Oh yeah. You say that like it's a bad thing, Joel. Joel, I do not hate smugness.
I'm just saying.
I hate
pot.
it when people are unctuous.
I'm just saying, Kettle, you're talking to the pot there.
Oh my goodness.
Did I get that backwards? Pot, kettle? I'm not gonna-
No, I mean, it sounds right. I hate smugness. I guess you're right. You know what else I hate? Nostalgia baiting. I hate cameos for cameo's sake, and that's all this movie will be.
I didn't make it to the end of this
No.
trailer either.
The first or second one, because there's 2 out now.
Is there a green band one? Because I'm tired of these red bands that aren't
No,
really red
there's
bands.
No, it's just Red Band.
They're both
No,
bad.
this is the meta of these guys being friends in real life.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's not even I don't even think it's necessarily a cameo thing. I think it's literally just, hey, we're friends in real life and I talked him into making this movie.
Do you think...
But it does feel like a culmination of this running gag of Deadpool and Wolverine that's been going on. And
It's
Ryan Reynolds
true.
and Hugh Jackman.
And the very fact that Deadpool was done so poorly in that Wolverine Origins movie, like it's going to be fun to see them together.
That's the dead horse that just keeps beating.
Totally. I do think people are going to root for Hugh Jackman just to succeed. Like, because it's been a while since he's been Logan as Wolverine, you know?
I showed my wife about half the trailer and
Yeah.
she's like, this is just Wolverine saying the F word over and over again.
So, Joel, you won't watch the Red Band trailer, the newest one, but it's like, hey, look, we're 16 and I just learned the F word. That's really all the trailer is.
Which sounds like Deadpool, honestly.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I get, it was utilized in Logan as well, but to, I think, better effect than it seems to be in this movie.
Directed by Sean Levy, who did Free Guy, which I thought was fun.
And Deadpool.
Date Night. No, he hasn't done Deadpool.
Date Night, not Game Night.
Not, yeah.
Game Night's good. Date Night's
Date Night's bad. And Big Fat Liar. And
Big Fat Liar.
he did Big Fat Liar, which
Like Paul Giamatti.
Like back in the
yeah.
Dyed
That
Blue?
is a classic, my dude.
listen, and it takes elements from the first season of Loki, which maybe not a lot of people saw, maybe a lot of people don't care about. But when it ties in too much to the MCU, and I know it's going to say goodbye to the X-Men universe and try to recreate a Marvel universe, there's too much going on, and they're going to say, hey, fan cast, isn't this fun? Remember when we put John Krasinski in that one movie? That's all this movie is going
You know,
to
I
be.
figured out why Kent hates Deadpool. Because he wishes it was him on the screen saying all these things.
How dare you?
It's you there sitting there. You're
Come
mocking
on,
the very
Joel.
thing that he's mocking, but you're like, he mocked it first, and that's why I don't like it.
Come on.
I'm just saying you would have enjoyed it if you were in the
And he's real
Deadpool.
handsome. He has abs. He's married to Blake Lively. It's fine. It's fine.
You're just jealous of Ryan Reynolds.
You found me out.
I knew it.
All right, Joel, what's your number one?
Just real quick, the funny thing to me,
Yeah.
I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, oh look, Wolverine is being so gruff, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, Hugh Jackman's just coming off a run in Music Man as Harold Hill to play Wolverine.
He's a what?
Well, he's a Music Man.
Oh, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
What's your number one, Joel?
No surprise here, and Kent probably saw it coming a mile away. It's Despicable Me 4.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, you just have an axe to grind with this
you
franchise.
hate Minions, you hate Despicable Me.
I do not hate Despicable Me.
Since
I hate-
2, you probably hated it.
I hate
'Cause 3's not good.
How big these movies keep getting, how much money these movies keep making, and the first one is great. I
It is.
actually really
I like
enjoy
it
the
too.
first one, but since then it's just like, oh come on, let it go. Plot summary: Gru, Lucy, Margot, Edith, and Agnes welcome a new member to the family, Gru Jr., who is intent on tormenting his
Grunior?
dad. Grunior.
I just spit.
This
Oh, that's
follows.
good. I hate that. That gives me like a gut reaction. Grunior.
This follows the traditional path of like family comedies where it's like, hey, here's this character. Hey, here's this character married. Hey, here's this character married with children.
Yeah.
And although this one kind of had the children in the first one, but still, Gru has a baby. That's the big thing
It
now.
works well in Shrek.
Does it?
Shrek 4 is kind of good.
Shrek 4 is kind of good. 3 is not good.
3's not good.
Puss in Boots any day.
Yeah.
Last Wish.
Yeah, for sure.
But the 6th installment of the Despicable Me
Have there only been
franchise
2
overall.
Minions movies? That's so weird.
Yeah,
that they
so
haven't
this
made
is
more.
Despicable Me 4 with 2 Minions movies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is one of those weird ones where it's going to be, I think it's coming to theaters and then it's going to Netflix. No. It's going to Peacock for the first 4 months of pay TV.
Okay.
Then moving to Netflix for the next 10. Then going back to Peacock for the remaining
They've
4.
already said that long?
Apparently. So they've already got it all set up.
Because they've been paid. And so
Yeah.
they are able to say
Yeah.
that. Okay.
I think I like the Despicable Me franchise because Gru is basically just when I try to pronounce German words. So it's just kind of what happens on accident.
And good
Oops.
for Steve Carell. And I like Kristen Wiig. I have nothing against any of the cast members here. This has Steve Carell, Kristen Wiig, Will Ferrell, Joey King, Sofia Vergara, Miranda Cosgrove, Stephen Colbert, Steve Coogan, Chloe Fineman. Like, it's the same basic cast you've been getting to enjoy this whole time. But I'm just like, no, let's not keep making Despicable Me movies. Let's not keep beating this dead horse. Let's just keep moving forward. So, sorry, Despicable Me 4. Nothing personal when you come out on July 3rd, but I'll be doing something else.
It feels so personal.
At this point.
Every time these movies are even announced.
You
Fine, I'm jealous of Gru.
You had a whole animated Kristen Wiig.
You've had multiple journal entries about this franchise. We know this for a fact.
Running gags.
Okay, can we...
Now let's get to your top.
I'm done being a little negative.
Yes, let's get happy.
Yes.
The tippity top?
Let's have some fun. Joel, we're going to get to your good list. What is your fifth top? Fifth from the top.
My fifth best. My fifth top most anticipated. I've talked about it before on Bacon Sale. Not another church movie. Guys, remember when I talked about that on the beginning of the episode?
One day I'll remember.
When I see this title, I go, hey, do they make a sequel to Home Teachers or RM?
Oh, it's
but
so
it's
bad.
not that kind of...
Hold on, this is not another church movie? It's like not another teen movie?
Yeah, but it's like...
But
it's,
like,
remember
it's
those
it's a
parody
riff on
movies?
Tyler Perry movies, which Tyler Perry movies already riffed themselves, so it's just ridiculous. Not my real pick.
Allison Hannigan and
Although
date
Vivica
movie.
A. Fox is in that movie.
Joke, Joel pick.
We spend way too much time on the jokes.
I did talk about this one before, and that's why I had both of them here, because it's A Quiet Place Day One.
Okay.
And this is directed by Michael Sarnowski, who directed Pig, which you liked, Kent.
I did like that.
And this has Lupita Nyong'o in it, who I really enjoy her, and
Jimon Hunsu.
Jimon Hunsu, thank you. I can never say. I always want to say Digimon, and that's not appropriate.
No.
But this is
Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually.
the plot summary just says experience the day the world went quiet. It's a prequel, but it's also like a different point of view.
sidequel.
Yes,
Right? It's like it's
happening in the same universe as
Does
Quiet
Jimon
Place.
Hunsu, he actually appears in Quiet Place
He
Part
does.
2?
He's playing
Yeah.
the same character as he did then.
So
Which I forgot he was in that. But
Yeah.
I think at this point for me, I look at it and go, has the Quiet Place franchise, we'll call it, have they not kind of earned enough goodwill for us to kind of have a little bit of trust in this movie? As much
That's-
as it might be
that's why.
unnecessary.
No.
And it's Lupita
No,
Nyong'o.
the first one was a surprise.
The first one is great, and the second one is actually really
Second
good.
is of the same
I
quality.
think people got tired of the concept.
I don't think they're tired yet. I think this one can still pull it off. And like I said, Lupita Nyong'o is a draw to me because I think she's a fantastic actress.
Do you think that they are removing it from the horror genre and making it more of a action thriller?
Has that ever worked in movies where the first one was a horror and
Quite
the
a bit.
second one was an action?
Alien and Aliens.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going
and
for.
Terminator,
Right.
Terminator 2.
Yep.
So I think with this one you can it was The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. Like this is an interesting concept to me.
Yes. Also, Ken, I think I may agree with you a little bit there because Michael Bay is involved with his production company. Is
Platinum
involved.
Dunes.
Platinum
They
Dunes.
do some good movies.
Yeah, so he's involved with this. So it could be more actiony. I think
Okay.
we're going to see more of the creatures, which, hey, you know what? It was kind of cool to see them a little more in the second one. But I don't want it to turn into like this is. It could be too much. So that's why it's fifth.
I'm okay with too much.
You're okay with too much?
Because we've had the
Who are you,
restraint.
Dave Matthews?
We've had the restraint. Now I want
much.
This is the whole like what you can do with this concept, which is we have this family who took the stealth route.
Yes.
What if elsewhere in the country, elsewhere in the world,
Everyone's screaming.
They took a guns a-blazing. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to
Which-
make my presence known.
The trailer did, like, I had an emotional reaction to it. I was kind of like, whoa, that's terrifying. And that's why I kind of went, yes, I want to see
And
this.
I think that's the beauty of the trailer because it seems like, well, they shouldn't survive that situation. And the movie should tell that story well, hopefully.
Yeah. But that's my number fifth most anticipated for the summer of 2024.
I'd like to formally say, good pick, Joel.
Thank you.
Kent.
Long legs. Long legs. One word.
Now,
Weird pick, Kent. Joel, what else you got? I like your list
Hey,
better.
no.
Have you met me?
Kent, when you say long legs, I tried to look up information about this. I watched a trailer for this. You know what I understand about this movie? Nothing. I understand
Cage is
nothing.
Joel.
Nicolas
Joel.
Cage is in it, and I understand nothing.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it wonderful to not know?
No, I want when I
It's the
see a
mystery.
trailer.
It's like, oh, a Sundance movie's coming out. I don't know anything about it, but I hear it's good. How cool is that?
I enjoy going in blank, sure,
Yeah.
but if it comes out a trailer and I finish the trailer and I have no reason to watch it,
Are you okay with me reading synopsis, or is that giving too much away?
No,
or
go
would you-
for it.
Okay.
I would like to know more about this movie.
FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes unexpected turns, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. So this is a very standard like serial killer thing. There may be some ghostly stuff in there, a lot of cryptic stuff. This has Micah Monroe as your main character and Nicolas Cage as the killer. Now, these trailers have purposely been misleading. In fact, they're just eerie.
Yeah.
Right? They don't show anything. They show him maybe humming and maybe dragging a body or something. This is a creepy looking, A24 type movie, even though it's not A24.
It felt very A24-ish. And it's long legged. It's one word.
Yeah, it's just long legs like daddy long legs. Nick Cage could ruin the movie, honestly. But I think the fact that
Said no one ever.
the fact that they're not really showing him being over the top is a nice step, is a step in the right direction. I am more curious about this movie, and I do love some weird horror, so I think this one's going to be right up my alley.
Remember when people would just go to the movies, look at a poster, and say, "That's playing next. I'll go there."
Right.
I would not survive in that world. And apparently neither would Joel. Kent, what's your number 4?
Alien Romulus.
Okay, really? It's just, correct me. Is this Ridley Scott doing this one?
No.
Is he involved at all?
He's producing.
That's not good.
He said he likes it. But guess what? James Cameron said that about every Terminator
this
movie,
is the
right?
best Terminator sequel since Terminator
And guess what?
2.
When I read you a synopsis, you're going to say, I hate the sound of that movie. Young people from a distant world must face the most terrifying life form in the universe. That's it. It's kids against the alien.
And I watched the trailer for this one too. And it essentially says like, hey, there's these people and they find xenomorphs. And every single time a face hugger is on the screen, I get the chills. That is a big fear of mine.
Did you know? Have you guys seen Alien? It's really good.
Yeah.
And it holds up. And that's all you need to like. Alien and Aliens. That's it.
I liked Alien Covenant. I thought
Which
that was
one's
well
that?
done.
Is that the one that came out before this one?
That came after Prometheus.
I used to hate Prometheus, and then I had a movie club where this guy, one of our mutual friends,
Gave the 4-hour
explained
cut?
Prometheus, and I like it now. And I'm sad that Disney is not, and Disney Fox is not choosing to continue the David story.
Yeah.
And that's the Michael Fassbender android story. Because it was going really creepy places, but this one is directed by Fade Alvarez, who did Evil Dead and Don't Breathe. This guy knows how to do suspense like no other, and with the xenomorph, I'm in.
So if we can have more of a original Alien vibe, as
and
opposed to
that's precisely what they're going
No, but they're
for.
saving that for Alien Remus.
Because I mean, Prometheus,
Romulus
the
and
story,
Remus.
the story is way too complicated, and you're like, am I supposed to know or care about these engineers? Like, show me an alien, show me the carnage. And I think that's what Covenant kind of went
Covenant got
back on the
back to
right
its roots.
track, right?
Yes.
Even though a lot of people don't like that one either. But you know what? It's going to be bloody. It's going to be thrilling, and I'm in.
Okay.
So, Alien. Romulus.
On first pass, I was like, ugh, here we go again. But
Same.
you may have sold me on
And
it.
the trailer sold me. And that's August 16th.
Joel, what would you like to sell me on?
If there's one thing I could recommend everyone to do,
Here we go.
it's playing with tarot cards. So I'm choosing tarot.
Miss
Hold on, Joel.
Cleo.
Joel, what if it's good?
No, it's not going to be good.
I know it won't. But what if it's good?
Wait, is this in the Hasbro universe?
By the way, don't play with tarot cards.
It's
Kids,
not like it's a Ouija board.
don't play with tarot cards, kids. I'm just it's meddling.
Are the Transformers going to show up at the end?
Maybe.
Or Battleship?
That's my joke pick.
G.I. Joe.
What? G.I. Tarot?
The Hasbro franchise.
Oh.
What do you got?
G.I. Tarot.
No, my number 4 is going to disappoint. Wow. My number 4 is going to disappoint Kent, and I'm sorry. But it's on my list.
Okay.
It's just not that high.
Okay.
It's Furiosa Mad Max Saga.
That's fine.
So, here's why.
I got sad.
I know you did. Directed by George Miller, who did Mad Max 1, 2, 3, 4, Babe Pig in the City, and Happy Feet 1 and 2.
Always.
And the plot summary.
I like Babe Big in the City.
The origin story of the renegade warrior Furiosa before her encounter and team up with Mad Max. Why I think this is good is because Furiosa was a fascinating character in Mad Max Fury Road, played by Charlize Theron. And seeing her story could be very interesting. However, I was worried that this was going to be kind of a cash grab prequel kind of thing.
Right.
Like, we know this character. And also, I don't think Anya Taylor-Joy looks anything like Charlize Theron.
No.
Sure.
But I found out in my research that they spent over 15 years writing the script for Mad Max Fury Road. And as they were doing it, they developed
A script?
They drive. They drive.
Yeah.
They turn
Real
left.
fast.
They turn around. They go back.
They actually had to
15
drive it just to really make sure it was right. No, but they actually, as they did, they created backstories for all the characters, in particular, Imperator Furiosa.
Okay.
And because of that, they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Fury Road back to back with Mad Max Furiosa. They're going to film it at the same time.
Wow.
But then they decided, no, we're just going to film this. So this isn't like an afterthought. This was a thought initially. And I think they have created a character that is interesting enough that the story could be good.
When they announced it, it felt like an afterthought because they didn't quite know what to do with Max in
Yes.
Fury Road. And I was like, did they just disregard the character? I hope not.
Yeah, but I don't think they will. And I think this could be good. It could also just be meh.
I will use the exact same logic I used on your previous pick, which is, has it not built up enough goodwill to this point to get a little bit of trust?
That's the problem. Mad Max 1, meh. Mad Max 2, good.
Cool.
Mad Max 3, meh.
Thunderdome.
Mad Max 4, good. If it follows pattern, this could be a meh. So I'm worried about
the Star Trek pattern for their movies.
A little bit.
Yeah,
And,
a little bit.
and people are saying like, oh, this one looks like it has a lot more CGI than Mad Max Fury
It
Road,
does.
and that might be a problem. But again, I have trust that it's going to be cool. Using CGI is not inherently a bad thing, and if it's done creatively, we could be having a lot of fun. I mean, this is Fury Road is Kent's top movie of 2015.
Yeah,
like
so good.
there's a good chance that this could be good, but we'll see. Good pick, Joel.
Well, I know you said good pick because Anya Taylor-Joy's in it, and you think every movie
That's all
she's
he
in is
heard.
good.
He glazed over immediately.
George Miller actually chose Anya
didn't say
Taylor-Joy
anything.
because he saw an early cut of the film last night in Soho and went, that.
Really?
That's my Furiosa. Yeah.
I would have gone with Thomas and Mackenzie, but that's cool.
She's so good in that movie.
She's great.
Yeah.
Okay, what about your number 3, Joel?
My number 3 is, a little darker, shall we say. I'm going the Kent route here.
Okay.
It's Maxine with 3 X's in the middle. I think it's a sequel to Triple X. I'm not sure. But it sounds like
no. This
Nope.
is
No.
that. You're not allowed to watch this movie.
No, I'm not allowed.
He's not allowed.
I don't know why they keep making these movies. What is the character's name?
So her name is actually Maxine. So it's the first movie. This
Maxine
is,
Minks.
It's just
So
X.
Ty West directed this kind of like
This is my
horror
joke
homage,
pick,
right?
by the way. So let's not spend too much time.
He okay. So last year he did X.
Yes.
And then he did Pearl, which is
Pearl, that's what I'm thinking
And,
of.
and both were really well liked. And Maxine is going to finish the trilogy.
Is Pearl the one from the memes?
Yes.
Who wants to be a star?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
Mia Goth.
a very disturbing, very grotesque, very perverted horror movie franchise. I do not recommend it. That's my joke pick. But
What you get is what you get.
I'm choosing Trap. And I know M. Night Shyamalan has let me down so many times, but I can't
Hey,
help
Joel,
it.
it's my number 3 as well.
Is it?
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Even if we didn't see a trailer, it's totally fine because it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I'm not saying it's going to be good, but it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Hey, pretend like we don't know anything about it because I don't.
Okay.
So M. Night Shyamalan is a director, and he's done a lot of
I
movies.
know.
Sixth
I'm a
Sense.
bigger fan of his than yours because I liked Old.
You need to.
Oh,
You need to go
yeah.
listen
I had
to-
fun.
Zach and the listener, you need to go listen to Baconsale episode 24, the M. Night Shyamalan.
We're cute.
Episode 24. We did
Wow.
a director show about him, and he still had more movies to make after that.
Yeah.
Wow. But some are good, better than others. But this stars Josh Hartnett.
Hartnett Sans?
And yes,
Love it.
because
We're in.
he was in Oppenheimer. Now he's
Yeah,
in this.
he's
I'm
back.
and Haley Mills. Haley Mills is in this movie.
What?
From the Parent Trap?
Yep, from Parent Trap, Miss Bliss. She's in this, and I went, really?
Bliss?
She's that
Still
intrigued
alive?
me.
That's
the same person?
If you haven't seen the trailer, I don't want to spoil it too much. But essentially, this father and daughter at this kind of Lady Gaga type concert. He's taking her there. He doesn't really know what's going on, and there's police surrounding the building, and they're looking for a killer, and they think he's going to be at the concert, and it's just one of those movie trailers where I watched and I went, did they just give
Right.
away the
it
twist?
seems that. Yeah.
And if they did, that actually kind of makes it a little more intriguing to me because I'm like, oh, this is a different type of movie.
But it's Shyamalan. There's no way that's the twist.
But could it be good again, Kent? Could this be M. Night
Here's
Shyamalan
what's
back?
selling me on the movie, and a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, nepotism," and they're right. But Shalika Shyamalan, who is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter,
Yes.
S. Night Shyamalan, will say,
Yes.
she is the pop star in this movie, and this movie is an actual concert. It is taking, except for like getting to the concert and everything, it is taking real time place during the actual concert. I'm talking like end of the performance, the encore, and the tension is supposed to build. He's gonna, I gotta go get some snacks. I gotta go to the bathroom, and the concert's still going, and it puts you right into the action. And I think being a kind of near musical, hopefully the music's good,
Hopefully it is.
but also with a tense soundtrack, I'm all the way in. And I think Josh Hartnett needs and deserves a win on this one.
But Kent, you just sold me and lost me at the same time.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you sold me with like kind of the real time thing. I'm like, it's interesting. But his daughter being the singer, it could be very much a, hey, look at my talented kid, everybody.
really could be.
But it could also be fine.
Yeah. And I think just being an M. Night Shyamalan movie, like we know not to expect anything, but they're always interesting. You always kind of go, oh, I'm excited to see that, even if it's bad.
I just feel like this is like one of those toxic relationships where I should get out of it. I should get out.
You know the red flags by now.
Yeah, I should get out, but I keep being like, oh, well, what's going on? Can I join you? And it's not good. But I picked Trap, as did you.
Same.
Comes out August 9th, and I'll probably go see it with my brothers.
Yeah.
Because we usually do that. We go see these movies together.
Well, that's confusing. Kent, you've already given me your number 3 then.
Yeah.
What about your number 2?
Fall Guy.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I'll sing the whole song. But
This one.
I never had heard of this show until we talked about it like midway through last season.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I still know nothing about it. Stoked for this movie, though.
A down and out stuntman must find the missing star of his ex-girlfriend's blockbuster film. This is Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. That's all you need to know.
Now, Kent, did you pick is this the reason we bumped up the summer preview episode?
You know, I wasn't even going to put this one on there because usually when we do the first week of May episode, the movie's already out.
Yes, and this is coming out like this Friday.
Yeah, considering it comes out
If
this
you're
Friday,
listening when it's real time.
I think this is one based on advanced buzz and how much fun these two actors have and the chemistry they have. I think this is going to be a hit of the summer, and it's going to be an early hit. But I think it's almost wrong not to just include it because it's going to be a blast.
And it's a movie remake of a TV series from the 80s that starred Lee Majors that I watched.
And it's directed by David Leitch, who did he helped co-direct John Wick. He directed Bullet Train and Atomic Blonde.
So he knows how to do action. He knows how to do stunts.
Yeah, and really, this is a love letter to stuntman.
Yeah.
Like, we need this. And I just hope it's not overly jokey because Ryan Gosling in this trailer, he's acting like he's on the press tour for Barbie still, where he's like, oh, people like me because I'm funny. That's kind of how he's acting in the movie, and I'm a little
jealous?
worried.
Are you getting jealous of Ryan Gosling now?
He's married to Eva Mendes. I mean, that's pretty cool. And he's Ryan Gosling.
They're so secluded.
Oh, no, guys. I've got Ryan envy.
Oh.
Speaking of Ryan Toys movie is coming out this summer as well.
Kent Ryan done.
He just changed his name.
Anyways, there's other movies I think will be more interesting, but this one will probably be the most fun movie of the summer. Fall Guy.
Joel?
My number 2, Kent, you actually already mentioned it. It's Ryan's World, the movie, Titan
There we
Universe
go.
Adventure. You guys remember Ryan's World from YouTube?
So jealous of that guy.
He's making a movie.
He's so rich.
Making a fortune.
So rich.
Wait, is it going to be unboxing videos? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I didn't dig that deep into the research. It's a joke pick, Kent. No, my number 2, excuse me, is actually Hitman. Comes out May 24th.
Tell me more.
I feel like Kent has brought this movie up before, and
Seen
I
it.
don't know. You saw it. That's right.
Yeah, it's
Sundance.
Yeah.
Hit Spaceman.
And the reason maybe it was
Not Spaceman, but Space
Hitman.
Man.
So it was kicking around the back of my mind. I think Kent said he watched this. I think he liked it. I can't remember, but it stars Glenn Powell, and that's basically the only name I recognize here.
Just trying to make it happen.
It's directed by Richard Linklater, and that intrigues me because I watched the trailer. And the plot summary is this. A professor moonlighting as a hitman of sorts for a city police department descends into a dangerous, dubious territory and finds himself attracted to a woman who enlists his services. So it's a guy who pretends to be a hitman to bust people.
And this is Richard Linklater, the director of School of Rock and nothing else.
School of Rock, Boyhood, and some movies before that.
The weirdest filmography because such serious movies, and then School of Rock, which is just a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Did he direct Bernie?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
weird.
this is much like Bernie. This is based on a true story. This is based on an article that came out in Texas Monthly back in 2001 by a guy named Skip Hollingsworth. And so obviously there's some liberties taken in this. But it really did, like, I had nothing really about this movie on my radar. And then I watched the trailer and I went, well, I'm intrigued.
It's funny. Glenn Powell is going to be in Twisters, and people say, oh, yeah, that guy, the Top Gun guy. They'll see this movie, which sadly is premiering on Netflix.
The guy from the Sydney Sweeney
It's kind
movie.
of a death sentence for a movie to go to Netflix.
Well, it'll be released in select theaters in May.
Yeah,
and
no one
it'll
will
come
see
out
it that
in,
way.
Netflix in June.
But this is the movie that probably should make his career. He's great in this movie. He
Is the
also
movie
co-wrote it, and the movie is great.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites of the year.
Nice.
So, yeah, look forward to this one.
I will. It's my
some
number
heavier
2.
content for sure, but definitely worth watching.
Next, I'd like your honorable mentions.
Some honorable mentions real quick. It's
It's just honorable mention, huh?
It's an honorable mention.
Okay.
It's not going to be my number 1.
Imaginary Friend.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun family movie. I think we'll be able to
right.
watch together. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it. I'm sorry, Kent.
hate that guy.
Yeah,
So handsome.
and John Krasinski.
I watched John Krasinski hug Steve Carell today, and it was great.
I also have Deadpool and Wolverine on my honorable mentions. Sorry, Kent.
Yeah, that's fine.
In a Violent Nature. It's one where it's from the point of view of like a Jason type character, and I was like, well, that could be intriguing for Halloween. The Dead Don't Hurt Western with Viggo Mortensen comes out May 31st.
I've never heard of it.
What? Yeah,
A Western with Viggo?
Yeah.
Also, did you know that Kevin Costner's coming out with a 2-part Western?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
summer?
I'm done with
saw
him.
Yeah.
Fly Me to the Moon comes out July 12th. That's about people that have to film the moon landing just in case it doesn't happen.
Because there's an animated movie called Fly Me to the Moon, which wasn't good.
Oh, yeah.
And there's allegedly a forthcoming Leonardo DiCaprio Frank Sinatra movie.
Could be. And then finally, The Watchers, which is directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Her name is Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, listen.
Is this a different daughter than the
Night
singer then?
Shyamalan.
Yeah, this is a different daughter.
Okay.
So this movie looks exactly like an M. Night Shyamalan movie concept and everything.
Guess who stars in it? Dakota Fanning. When was the last time you saw her?
Twilight, the
I'm pretty
last
sure.
Twilight.
Is that right?
movie?
Is Dakota Fanning in this one? I think,
Yeah, she is.
Okay. It's like a movie where like these people are trapped in a room and there's these people that come watch them. It's like a very, in the trailer, you kind of see it says very thinly veiled kind of analogy of TV watching or movie watching, I guess. But it was interesting enough that I went, yeah, I'll put that on my mentions.
What's it
And
called?
The Watchers.
The Watchers.
They're not in the woods, but well, they are in the woods, but it's not Watcher in the Woods. Kent, what are your honorable mentions?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just eked out of my top 5. And
Ooh, is that one of the monkey movies?
that is one of the monkey movies. And here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of Disney. I'm not a fan of them continuing the Planet of the Apes movies because I think that trilogy
Tight
is
little bow. It's
perfect,
great.
right? And Disney's like, hey, people like that. Should we get Andy Serkis? Nah,
It's like
he's
you-
too talented.
You can hear Ryan George of the pitch meeting videos in your head.
Yeah.
Why? Because money. Okay.
Yeah, that's precisely it. And I think they're going to tie it into the greater Planet of the Apes movies. I don't know. We'll see.
This part of this whole franchise to make way too many sequels.
Yeah.
And people love them.
That's what happens. Under Paris is a,
Oh, that's the one like before Paris, under Paris, after Paris.
and this one is
Forget Paris?
a great white shark in the rivers of Paris, and the sign.
What?
It's a great white shark in Paris.
It's in your honorable mentions for most anticipated.
trailer's cool.
What's this trilogy? We've got a movie where Billy Crystal meets a girl in Paris.
Yes.
We've got Owen Wilson going back in time and talking to artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, French Kiss has Kevin Kline and.
But it doesn't say
Meg Ryan.
Paris though.
Midnight in Paris.
That's like a spinoff.
And this is what?
Under Paris.
Under Paris, there's sharks.
I think I saw Under Paris. Is that the one with As Above, So Below? Is
Yeah,
that-
that's it. Except for not ghosts and skeletons. This is this great white shark. I love shark movies, even though they're bad. Hitman, I can't wait to see again. The Watchers, Just Like You, A Quiet Place, Day One, and Twisters. This is actually my honorable mentions of want to see.
I
That's
like
fine.
it.
You're a Glenn Powell fan.
I kind of
You
am.
don't have Glenn Envy. Glenvy?
Glenvy.
Glenvy.
and Grunior this summer. Rated R.
I have Grunior.
You should get that checked out.
All right, Kent, what is your actual factual number one?
Been mentioned before, but Furiosa.
Of
Mad
course
Max
it is.
saga.
Guess that.
This one comes out May 24th, so right before my birthday, and I'm very
Happy birthday to you.
And Joel, I agree. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is like a bit frail to play a tough Furiosa type.
We need to get past looking like the actor and just acting like the character. Is
What
what's
was
important.
that? What was that? You hate Austin Butler?
What's that?
For Elvis?
Because
Even though he is like a perfect incarnation of Elvis?
I hate Austin Butler for who he is as a
Save it
person.
for our Elvis show.
Actually, Austin Butler should have played Furiosa from Dune 2. Anyways.
What?
I hear he's good at that show.
Because he's bald. And Chris Hemsworth plays the villain in this one.
With
And
a-
when
with
you
a
first see
G-
him,
yeah,
when you
prosthetics?
when you first see him, you see a fake nose, right? Like, is this Maestro? But the way, even in a 2.5 minute trailer, the way he sells the character is so fun.
I also appreciate that he just gets to finally be so Australian in this movie.
It's the first time he's ever been Australian
Right.
in a movie.
Feels like it.
Thank you, George. No, it really is.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
He didn't do
Ghostbusters.
Australian movies before coming over.
Well,
to-
Thor, he probably couldn't really hide the Aussie
I think
accent.
I think he didn't have. I think he had his accent in Ghostbusters, but nobody saw that movie.
it exists.
Maybe.
Anyways, I think he's having a blast. The fact that we have Immortan Joe, kind of because it is a prequel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see that a little bit more. I don't know if we really need to see, like, remember does anyone remember her story, her arc in Fury Road, where she's like, I'm trying to get back home.
she was
she's
driving and then she drove.
Trying to
somewhere.
save the
Right. In
pregnant
this one,
girl.
it's like, I want to go back home. And that's kind of the whole concept and her rise to power. But you know what? The whole orange and red flame and sand in my eyes, the whole effect, I just can't wait to watch.
I think my favorite thing about this movie is it's going to force me to get to rewatch Fury Road. So even if this one isn't that great, I get to rewatch Fury Road this year, and I'm very excited about that.
Well, and that's really it, because when 2015 happened, we saw Fury Road. It's like a 2-hour car chase, and I went, wow, that movie blew me away. I don't think we'll ever see a movie like that again, even from George Miller.
I don't think the expectations were particularly high either.
Yeah.
and, it blew
And
everything.
now it's 9 years later, and it's like, that's an eternity in movie years. And we get to see kind of a continuation, even though it's a prequel, but like a similar type movie. And I'm stoked. So yeah, that's my number one by a mile, quarter mile.
And Joel, what's your number one?
Well, I think I'm going to say this with all the excitement I can muster. Haikyuu, the dumpster battle.
What?
I remember mentioning
Wait,
that
that's-
one.
It's anime about volleyball, I think.
That you think?
The Back
I don't know,
Wanderer.
It's my joke.
Where's the Joel research on that one? The back wanderer.
It was anime.
The back
I
wanderer
don't want
should be a
to.
main character in that.
I don't
one.
want to research anime, otherwise it'll start appearing in all my.
It's a
ads.
callback.
Anywho, No, my number one has already been mentioned. It's The Fall Guy.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I was a fan of the original series back in the day.
So you did watch it. It
Yes.
wasn't a discovery when we did that show.
No.
Okay.
This is one of those 80s shows that I watched way more than I probably should have as a kid because it's not like it's not that it's like inappropriate or anything, but just
Right.
it's more like adult fare. Like
Yeah.
about a stunt man who has to go and he's a bounty hunter who's a stunt man, and so every episode he ends up doing like this stunt, and so he has a cool truck. Like Zach, you probably like the truck, but
I'm excited for the car stuff.
yes. But like you already mentioned, Kent, this is directed by David Leitch, who did Bullet Train and John Wick and Deadpool 2. And then it also stars Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Hannah Waddingham is in this movie as well, who's the owner of the team
remember
in Ted
her
Lasso.
name.
And then Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is
Rebecca.
This is a love letter to stuntmen, like you said. This used a lot of practical stunts, choreographed action sequences, and
Ryan Gosling, Botox.
much to Zach's dismay,
It's filler.
this movie broke the record, the Guinness Book of World Record, for most canon roles in a car, with
No.
8.5 roles performed by. It beat.
I beat the DBS from Casino Royale.
Yeah, beat Casino Royale, car rolling.
Well,
Oh,
now I
wow.
hate this movie.
No, you can't hate it because it
And then do they put him in a chair after?
no chair in this one.
What,
Okay,
did they
phew.
take the bottom of the chair out?
But yes,
The
this
chair
is
didn't have a bottom?
Neither did Bond.
Anywho, The Fall Guy is one of those that I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do a remake of this. Everyone's forgotten about the movie,
Yeah.
the show by now, and every time I watch something about it, it gets me more.
You know what's
excited
funny
about
is like we talked about Garfield, we talked about The Crow being IP that no one cares about. Kids don't care about it, or adults don't care about The Crow. But Fall Guy is an IP that really nobody knows about.
It's been
And so
forgotten.
because of that, kind of like Mission Impossible.
I was going to say
back
Mission
in the day.
Impossible. Did anybody know that was a show?
I mean, yes, but at
Well-
the same time, people didn't know that or care that it was being rebooted.
oh, like Get
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah,
Bad example.
I think I love the original series. It gets.
I think
It's
Fall
good.
Guy is primed based on its concept alone to be a reboot.
And I can sing every single word of the theme song by heart, but it does mention a lot of older actresses like Farrah Fawcett and Sally Field. And I think Blake Shelton's updating it. We're going to have a lot of new actresses mentioned in the song, maybe. And I don't know how that's going to go. But I am excited to see The Fall Guy.
Is it like Mambo number 5? Like, why would they mention actresses'
Well, he's
names?
like, he says, like, I've been singing with Farrah. I've been on fire for Sally Field. Gone fast with a girl named Bo. Like, it's all
in the
kind
TV show, that's a part of the song?
every single time the show starts, that's the theme song, is him talking about all these. The whole point is he's doing all these crazy things, but then the actor gets the credit.
He's going to sing about Michelle Rodriguez.
He might. But yeah, that's the whole point of the song, is that he does all these stunts, and yet the actor gets the glory. He's like, I'm the unknown stuntman. That makes Eastwood look so fine. Anyway, I'm not going to sing the song now. Maybe I'll do that like on a Patreon thing. I'll sing the song. I'll do a cover of it.
8 bits on the credit.
Now, Zach, we've talked a lot about the movies we want to bomb and the ones we want to succeed. Do you have any notable ones?
My number one, I'll just go right to it. That's Furiosa.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
for sure. Not because of Anya Taylor-Joy, but because I loved Fury Road so much, and I was so utterly shocked and surprised by how much I enjoyed that movie. I'm very curious. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, but I'm really curious about A Quiet Place Day One because I think it could be good. And also The Fall Guy. I think I could have some fun, and I will still give Shyamalan a shot.
Which one? Because there's 3 this summer.
Trap.
Wait,
Yeah.
him or his daughter?
Just him. But
Shyamalan.
and I'm just gonna give Twisters a shout out.
Yeah, because it'll be
I think
fun.
it's gonna be fun.
Silly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but let us know on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, which movies you are most excited to see this summer. It could be one we picked. It could be one we didn't pick. In fact, a lot of times people will be like, you didn't mention this movie. And I'll be like, I didn't know that was coming out.
Right.
It doesn't have to come out in theaters either. It could be streaming. But let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know on Twitter. We want to hear from you. But before we go, we'd like to give some love to our patrons, those who help keep the lights on here at the Bacon Cave, including the I'm a Listener tier, which has Taylor Sanderson, Some Guy, Sir and Madam Hicks, Shannon West, Scott Sprague, Ryan and Marley, Rocky and Steph, Lady Terry A. Finley, Juice the Cooler King Swallow, Jennifer Kilkowski, Casey Cummings, Angela Plotz, Alicia Bass, and Adam and Rachel Crump. And then we have our Bacon Council, which includes the other Brit, Johnny English, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Stephen, everyone's favorite Ross, Star Wars expert Kyler, our favorite couple, the Madsons, Nicole D. Kale, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Glow Clin Daniel, Debbie Foster, and Beaker.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you, patrons. You are the Glenn to our Powell.
Who?
I don't know. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quickwits, who perform at the Midville Performing Arts Center and the studio at the Parker Theater. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Kenny3DD. You can read my movie reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you're following Bacon Sale. Please like that Facebook page and then go to at Bacon Sale on Twitter and Instagram. After you've done that, go to tpublic.com/baconsale where you can get yourself some merch. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, visit patreon.com/baconsale where you can get all sorts of behind-the-scene benefits and mostly weekly bacon bits.
Most of the time.
Not every week, but most of the time. Patreon.com/baconsale.
So until next time, guys, I'm sorry for all those puns I did in the intro. I know it kind of felt like I was beating a dead Pool and Wolverine.
Oh.
What was that, Fat Albert or Venom?
I'm a symbiote.
Sergey, best Russian name ever, or close?
Ivan?
I'm a Vladimir kind of guy.
that's-
but then you get Putin who's kind of ruining that name.
No,
Yeah,
I
so-
like Ivan. Ivan's real simple.
I'm going to go with Sergey. It's a good
Save it for our Russian name episode.
Tony Hale is Discount Bill Hader.
You think he's going to sound like you, but it just sounds like Chris Pratt. What is this, Open Season 3?
How
Okay.
dare you defile the name of Open Season?
I didn't say Open Season 1 or 2.
movie is a masterpiece.
Snoop Dogg is in it as Snoop Cat.
It's like Twister.
Did the show change at all in like April of 2020? Did you notice anything?
Did it get better?
Did it get worse? Don't answer that.
Are you all right, Joel? You lost your headphones. What happened?
Joel,
Come back to us.
I'll never let go.
We can't do the show.
It's your first time on the show?
Your ears.
How do headphones work?
Yeah, hold on. Yep. Oh, you're almost there.
The Mid and Me is enjoying this summer.
Yes.
I'm right.
It was on the anniversary show. Nobody
Yeah.
got it.
So the mere fact that they are shaming Helen Hunt and they are rejecting Helen Hunt, I reject this movie. I may have
edgy.
done my makeup, the makeup like the crow on my face.
Stop.
Wait,
Oh.
for fun?
Yeah.
Joel,
Yes.
tell me pictures exist.
Yeah.
The screens that show stuff.
For some reason, I enjoy Martin Lawrence and his weird career. Is it like Twisters with multiple pigs?
No, it comes out May 17th. You hate smugness. You know, I figured out why Kent hates Deadpool. Because he wishes it was him on the screen saying all these things.
How dare you?
It's you there sitting there. You're
Come
mocking
on,
the very
Joel.
thing that he's mocking, but you're like, he mocked it first, and that's why I don't like it.
Come on.
I'm just saying you would have enjoyed it if you were in the
And he's
Deadpool.
real handsome. He has abs. He's married to Blake Lively. It's fine. It's fine.
You're just jealous of Ryan Reynolds.
Grunior. Gru is basically just when I try to pronounce German words.
Fine, I'm jealous of Gru. Joke, Joel, pick. If there's one thing I could recommend everyone to do,
Here we go.
it's playing with tarot cards.
I got sad.
I know you did.
You're not allowed to watch this movie.
I just feel like this is like one of those toxic relationships where I should get out of it. I should get out.
You know the red flags by now.
Yeah, I should get out, but I keep being like, oh, well, what's going on? Can I join you?
A great white shark in the rivers of Paris and the sign.
What?
It's a great white shark in Paris.
It's in your honorable mentions for most anticipated.
trailer's
So,
cool. I love it. You're
so
like, Kent, cut this out of the show.
Cut this out. And then you got right on mic.
But it's pretty funny.
Glenvy?
Glenvy. Glenvy and Grunior.
I have Grunior.
That
This
chair
is-
didn't have a bottom?
Neither did Bond.
What do you mean?